All right, y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And I got a good one for y'all. We talking about bike fit. Right up front, this video might be kind of long. I'm gonna try my best to not make it too long, but I'm gonna tell you the things that work for me right up front, and then I'm gonna go more in depth about each of those individual pieces that help me get comfortable on the bike, right? So, bottom line up front, the three things that really changed how I felt on the bike was shoes, a pedal cleat system, and leg length shims. Now I'm explaining all of those, right? So I had been on the bike for a while, and I had a couple different bike fits because I do think bike fits are very important, or getting a bike fit is very important. But after having 3 bike fits, I can't tell you how many saddles I went through or how many different bikes that I've had. I was always having like the same kind of issue with my bike fit. I was having like the same problem area regardless of the bike, regardless of the saddle. So doing a lot of my own research, a lot of people were saying like a lot of that bike fit has to do with your cleats, how your cleats are set up, and how you're positioned when you're sitting on the saddle. That has a lot to do with the bike fit. So how did I make that all work, right? The first thing I had to do was figure out I had to find a shoe that worked for me. And I know that's very loosely said, but for me specifically, the way I figured out the shoe was, and my shoe is the Specialized S-Works Aries. And I'm gonna tell you why that's the shoe. I came from a background of running. You know, I've been in the Army 20 years, and I can't tell you how many miles I got on these legs, man. But over the years, my arches have failed, and my feet are like super sensitive. I just have a lot of problems with my feet. And I was having so many problems with my feet. Like when I was running, a solution for me was to have elastic shoelaces. When I had elastic shoelaces, like my feet could move, and it was better on my foot, because whenever I had a lace, like a normal lace, and I tied my shoe, dude, I would always lose circulation in my feet, and that was a big problem. Now, bring that to cycling, you can't be cycling with loose shoes. Your shoes got to be somewhat tight, because that's where all the power transfer is, and if you got loose shoes, that just don't even make sense on the bike. So every time I was wearing some cycling shoes and I was like tightening them up, man, I was losing circulation in my feet, and I was just never really comfortable with any shoe, you know? Also with cycling shoes are pretty narrow, and they weren't very forgiving on my feet. And I have very flat feet. And the problem I was having with a lot of shoes is I was taking a lot of advice from other people who were giving me advice, but the information they was giving me and the advice they was giving me, it just wasn't applicable to what was going on with my body. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell people I had flat feet, they was like, well, you need a shoe with a high arch. No, I don't. Anything with an arch in it, it was killing my feet. So with the Specialized Aries, one of the things I realized too was they talk about the different positions of how your feet are, right? And with the S-Works versions of shoes, like the S-Works Exos, the S-Works 7s, the S-Works Aries, they all have that Varus Wedge that's built into the shoe. And that was a game changer for me, because when I found out about that wedge, they make a wedge system that you can put on any shoe. And there's usually 2 types. There's the one that goes between the cleat and the shoe on the bottom, and there's the one that goes inside the shoe, like underneath the sole. And I tried them both, but they didn't have the best feel for me. Like when it was in the shoe, I felt like it was taking up too much space. And then when it was on the bottom of the shoe, the cleat system I was running at the time, it was kind of interfering with it, and it was hard like clipping in, and I just wasn't feeling it. But when I found out about the Varus Wedge in the S-Works shoe, man, game changer. It was perfect for me. Also with the Aries, right? The Aries has like a booty system, right? It kind of reminds me like a rollerblade. You kind of slide your foot into a sock, and then that sock kind of grabs your whole foot, and then you put you clamp the boas down. That was perfect for my foot. You know what I'm saying? Also with a lot of cycling shoes, they're like low cut, and I didn't like the low cut. I wanted more support. And when you put your foot in the Aries, like I said, it's almost like you putting it into a sock. And then like with the Aries shoe, I can put the shoe on and the bolas can be like pretty loose and I'm locked in and them joints are super stiff. That shoe was a game changer for me and it really helped my bike fit. So if you got problems with your feet, or another thing I was having a problem with too was hot spots. I was having a lot of hot spots on the outside of my foot, but with that mesh system, like that boot, it's very flexible. It's like my foot can do whatever it wants to do. It's got freedom to move. It's secure. It's on point. No issues. And it had the Varus Wedge. The shoe is everything for me. So that was the first thing, was that S-Works shoe. The next thing, right, was the pedal cleat system. I changed my cleat system and my pedal system to the Speedplay Wahoo pedals. And I found out about them. I've been new about them, but I didn't really mess with them until my second bike fit. My second bike fit, the guy that introduced me to him, and he was really explaining what was going on with me. And he was like, I think this is going to be a better solution for you. And it was. It was like an instant solution for me. The thing that I love about the Speedplay pedals is it's just so much adjustability in the pedal system. You could really dial in everything very precise. Because another issue I was having with a traditional cleat system, before I was running the look style cleats, right? And I had some float. So it's not that I didn't need float. I just needed float in a specific place. And I just couldn't do that with the look system, you know? And the best way I can describe it is like, picture a clock, right? And on this clock, you have, let's say you have 2 hours of float, right? And your float is between like 5, 6, and 7. And that's your area of float. Once you use like a look system or a Shimano system, that's where your float's at. If you want to change your float more to the left or more to the right, you kind of got to actually angle the whole cleat. But then that changes everything else as far as like clipping in or clipping out, or you might need float in a different area. And it's just not, it's not ideal for getting that precise float. Now with the Speedplay, right? Let's say you have 2 hours of float, but you can move the float. You don't want your float between like 5 and 7. You might want your float between like 4 and 6. Or you might not even need 2 hours of float. You might only need an hour of float. You know what I'm saying? Your float might be between 5 and 6, or your float might be between 4 and 5. Or you can just have no float at all. You can do that with the Speedplay system. That was a game changer for me. Also, just like my natural stance on the bike and your Q factor, you know what I'm saying? Different pedals have different Q factors, or different bikes may have different Q factors. With the Speedplay system, you can really dial in how close you are to the bike or how far away you are from the bike. And that was just everything. It gave me all the adjustments I needed, you know? And when I went to that second bike fit, a good thing for me was like I had did a bunch of research on my own. And I could speak some of the lingo. I kind of knew the jargon. And I could give good feedback to the bike fitter. And they could give me specifically what I was looking for, you know? So if you've been on the bike for a while and something's not right, I would suggest that you go to a bike fitter, but you need to be able to give that bike fitter the proper feedback of what's going on with you. Because if you can't relay that, then they can't really help you. And the only way you're gonna know that, you gotta know the terminology so you can speak that to them so they can give you the right product to help fix the problem that you're having, give you the right solution. But if you don't know that, then it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain that to them because they're not tracking what you're talking about, you know? So, and then kind of like another thing about the bike fit, I've had 3 bike fits, right? And it took me doing some of my own research to get things kind of right. And some people will say, well, like, do you feel like you wasted money on a bike fit? Absolutely not. Because every bike fit I went to, the 3 different bike fitters, they all kind of gave me a different little piece of knowledge. You know, whether it was just like cycling techniques, like pedaling dynamics, things I need to do on the bike, things they saw with me, posture, position, all of that. So every time I went to a bike fit, I never left feeling like, man, I wasted my money. It was always money well spent. So don't get discouraged about going to a bike fit. You just got to know, just be prepared to explain to the bike fitter what's going on with you in a terminology that they can understand and comprehend, so they can give you the proper feedback and advice to give you a solution for what's going on with you. All right. So shoes, pedal cleat system, and the next thing, right? Leg length shims. Man, let me tell you about this, right? Like I said, I had the pedal system, I had the shoes, I'm on the bike, things are feeling better, but I'm still like not really 100% comfortable. And I was still having the same targeted like saddle soreness in the same area. And I was like, man, something else is like not right. So I was watching like a video on bike fitting, and the individual was talking about leg length discrepancies. And I started thinking, I was like, man, I wonder if I got a leg length discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, my right foot is like a 1/2 centimeter larger than my left foot, which is wild. But I don't think that's unnormal. There's probably some other people like that, but they just never measure their feet. So I'm like, yo, is my legs different lengths? And I couldn't figure out how to determine that. You know what I'm saying? To be somewhat accurate. Man, I watched this video and I'm going to tell you how you can figure this out. So what I did was I sat on the ground. I had my legs bent at like a 90-degree angle, had my ankles in line, and then I looked at my knees, and it blew my mind. When I looked at my knees, my left knee is about a 1/2 centimeter or so taller than my right. So right then I knew, I was like, yo, my left leg is longer than my right leg. So I was like, man, how do I fix this? So I got those leg length shims. Now, depending on the type of pedals you're running, whether it's Shimano, the Look Style, or the Speed Play, I got mine off Amazon, right? I got it for the Speed Play system. As soon as I got them in, the first thing I did is I took them all out and I put them all on the shoe. I just maxed it out. I'm like, if I'm gonna make a change, make a change. I maxed it out, put my shoes on, got on a bike. Man, I instantly felt a huge difference. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I never knew this. So for me, I have a smart trainer, and I spend a lot of time on my smart trainer, like messing with my bike fit, because it's like a controlled environment where I can just get on the bike, pedal a little bit, ride a little bit. I'm gonna ride like 5 miles. I could, test out the changes that I made before you just be outside and, doing all that. But I had spent a lot of time like perfecting that. So the shim kit, the leg length shim kit came with, I want to say it was like 4 pieces, and I ended up using 3 of them. The total stack in there is probably like close to 1/2 centimeter or a little bit more. But adding those to my right shoe, man, it just changed everything. When I'm sitting on the saddle now, I feel more balanced. I'm not getting those saddle sores in that spot no more. And that has just been, man, it has been so much. It has been a game changer. And putting all that together, having the right shoes, the right pedal cleat system, and then getting those leg length shims, man, it really changed everything for my bike fit. I really felt so much more comfortable on the bike now. And I gathered all that information up, and this has been like, man, probably like a year that I've been going through all this, figuring it all out. I had to package it up and deliver it, because I'm pretty sure there's other people that are going through these same things, but they don't know what to do with the information. Like, you show up to a store and say, hey man, I need a bike fit. They kind of give you a bike fit and you're like, man, is it really working for me? Is it not working for me? And then you're on the bike and you're like, dang, did I waste my money? And you just in this loop. So if this sounds like some of the things that you're going through, try some of those solutions, man. You got to find a shoe that works for you, not necessarily someone telling you, hey, this is a great shoe, you should try this. You have to be able to articulate what's going on with your body, how things feel, what you know about you, and then find something that's going to fit what you got going on. Because I spent a lot of time listening to people that just give me random advice, and I don't take offense to it, because, you know, this is them trying to help. You know, I remember one time this guy was telling me, like, you got to have the right cycling socks. That's why your feet hurt, because you got bad socks. And that was just crazy to me. Another thing to note, though, also when it just relating to bike fit, cycling bibs, right? That was a huge thing too. I figure some folks may know that already, but if they don't, I'm telling you, if you don't have a bib, get you a cycling bib. A bib changes everything in the cycling game. And when you get a bib, get a good quality bib and make sure it fits. It should be tight. Not too tight that you can't breathe, but it should be tight. Shouldn't be no slack in there. Because if you have clothes on that don't fit, it's gonna be a problem on the bike, man. You ain't never gonna be comfortable. Or you're gonna be creating issues when you don't need no issues. I remember when I first started cycling, you know, me and my dad kind of started this cycling journey at the same time. And it's crazy. Like, I think about like the kit that I used to wear. You know, it's like the Amazon special or something on like eBay or whatever from China. I'm actually gonna find a picture. I know I got a picture of me and my dad from back when we first started, and it'd probably be like this right here. And it's just, yo, this is crazy to me looking at this picture. I don't know, it's just crazy. It did, you know, getting you some quality kit, and check us out now. I love this picture, man. That Rafa kit is very clean. I appreciate it. But anyway, that's what I got for y'all today, man. Hopefully y'all can get y'all bike fit stuff straight. Hopefully this information helped you out. And until next time, man, that's all I got for y'all. I'm out.
Rob Armstrong.